Let us start with the simple index numbers. In the previous method, or in the previous part actually, we finished with the notations that we will be using for calculations. We studied about P0, P1, Q0, Q1, value index numbers, the notation for the values, the notation for the index numbers. Now over here we have to actually see how do we calculate the index number, and under that the first method that we have is the simple index number. So just listen very carefully guys, and you can take down all the points if you want. You can also take down those points which you feel are important for you to remember and understand. So just watch the video till the end so that you understand all the points very properly and perfectly. Now when you talk about the simple index numbers, there is a second name given to the simple index number. It is also called as unweighted index number. Now when we call it as the unweighted index number, it is because the second type of index number that you have is based on the weighted index number. Therefore, the second name for this case is called as the unweighted index number. Now under this, the first one that we have is the price index number. As I told you in the beginning that the price index number is represented by P01. It is given by a very simple formula, summation of P1 upon summation of P0 into 100. So there's an example number 1 for you guys. It's asking us calculate the price index number using the simple aggregative method. What we have to do over here is, looking at the question, simple aggregative method is nothing but the simple index number that we are usually call. The technical name for that is given to be simple aggregative method. So when commodities are given to us along with their corresponding prices in 2000 and 2003, I have to understand that the smaller year is the base year. So this is my P0 value. Greater year is the current year. So this is my P1 value. So as per the formula, I require summation P1 upon summation P0. So all these prices of the base year have to be added, and the prices of current year also have to be added. So when you add this, you will get summation P0 is equal to 190, and when you add the prices of the current year, you will get the value of summation P1 as 275. Then we will always write our formula whenever you are calculating. So I will get over here P01 is equal to summation P1 upon summation P0 multiplied by 100, which is actually 275 upon 190 multiplied by 100. Now a very common mistake that the students make while writing the paper in a lot of hurries, this is a very common mistake that happens, that people write it like this: 190 upon 275 into 100, and they do the calculation, and this becomes completely wrong because the formula is summation P1 upon summation P0. So the P1 value must come in the numerator and P0 value must go in the denominator. Now coming back to our calculation in the working, just cancel off this 0 and 0, and when you divide 275 into 10 is 2750, when it is divided by 19, you will get the answer as 144.74. So that's a very simple sum, very simple method to calculate the index number. Now the interpretation for this, what exactly is the meaning of P01 equal to 144.74? So let us write the interpretation. Actually, this interpretation part is just for our understanding. They might not be asking you in the exams, but you should know what exactly you are working on. Why are you calculating the index number? What is the meaning of the value of the price index number as 144.74? So what exactly does it mean? Let us understand this. See, you are having the comparison of the years 2000 and 2003, and I have got the price index number as 144.74 for 2003 with the base 2000. So if any commodity whose price is just rupees 100 in the year 2000, its price in 2003 will become rupees 144.74. I can say approx rupees 145. So there's a 45% increment in the prices of commodities in 2003 compared to that of the year 2000. So the next example, guys, you are given the commodities. Again, you are given the price in 1995 and the price in 2000. As I told you in the previous case, the smaller value of the year is considered as the base year. So I consider this as your required P0 value, and the price of 2000, that becomes your P1 value. So in this case, when you add all these values of the P0 column, you will get summation P0, and when you add all the values of the P1 column, you will get the value of summation of P1. So if I add P0 values, the summation P0 comes out to be 109, and similarly the summation of P1 value over here comes out to be 182. Now let us go for the formula. P01 summation P1 upon summation P0 multiplied by 100. So it gives us that, be careful, you have to take P1 value in the numerator, so 182 divided by 109 multiplied by 100. So on solving this, 182 into 100 will give you 18200 divided by 109, and this will come out to be 166.97 as your required P01. So interpretation, once again, it's not asked, but just for your understanding, you can remember that compared to the prices of 1995, in 2000 the prices have increased by 66%. Now the second one that we have is the quantity index number. It is exactly same as what we did for the price. Instead of taking the P0 and P1 values, this time we will take Q0 and Q1 values. So you will get over here Q01 is equal to summation Q1 upon summation Q0 multiplied by 100. So the example that you have over here, guys, you are given the information about the commodities. There are 5 commodities. Now here he has clearly mentioned the base year quantity and the current year quantity. So now guys, I can directly say that this over here is your required Q0 value and this is your required Q1 value. When you add all the values of Q0, you will get summation Q0. When we add all the values of Q1, we get summation of Q1. So the example that you have over here, guys, the total of Q0 is coming out to be 785 and the total of Q1 column is 585. If you take the formula, which is Q01, which is equal to summation of Q1 upon summation Q0 into 100, you will get the answer 585 in the numerator divided by 785 in the denominator, and on solving this 58500 divided by 785, you will get this is equal to 74.52% is the required value of Q01. So in case if you observe this, your quantity index number is 74.52, which is lesser than 100. If it is lesser than 100, so you have to understand that there has been decrement in the quantities which have been purchased or which have been produced. So because there is a decrement, so looking at this, the interpretation that we can get from here is that the quantities have reduced by approximately 25% in the current year as compared to the base year. As compared to the base year. So similarly guys, one more example that you have for the quantity index number. In this case, you have to again find out the Q01 value, and there are 5 commodities from A to E. The base index number or the base year quantities, you are given Q0. Current year quantity, you are given Q1. So just take the total of Q0 values 360, 280, 340 and so on. You will get summation Q0 as 1400. Whereas if you add all the Q1 values, that is you will get summation of Q1 440 plus 320 plus 470 plus 210 plus 300, that will give you 1740. So now as per your formula, Q01 is equal to summation Q1 upon summation Q0 multiplied by 100. So carefully you have to substitute over here guys Q1 value in the numerator and Q0 value in the denominator. So you will get this is equal to 1740 divided by 1400 into 100. On doing the required simplification, 1740 divided by 14, you will get the answer as 124.28. So friends, Q01 value आपको आ रहा है यहाँ पर 124.28. So what does that mean? It means that the quantity consumption or production or purchasing, whatever the question has considered over here, that is not mentioned in this case, but whatever be the variable, that quantity of purchasing or the production has increased by 24% because the base value is always considered as 100, and if the current value considered comes as 124, it means that there has been a 24% increment in the production or purchasing of that particular commodities quantity. The next type of index number that we have is the value index number, and as per our basic notations, V01 will be equal to summation of V1 upon summation of V0 into 100. But if you remember guys, I had told you that V1 is always P1 into Q1 and V0 is always P0 into Q0. So here we have to multiply P1 and Q1 to get the value of V1, multiply P0 and Q0 to get the value of V0, and then take the total multiplied by 100. That becomes your required V01 formula. So guys, we have an example for calculating the value index number. You are given a question which has got base year price and quantity, current year's price and quantity. What you have to do over here is you have to calculate the value index number V01. In order to get the values of V01, the given information that you have, base year price, that is P0, base year quantity is Q0, current year price is P1 and the current year quantity is Q1. In order to calculate the value index number, we have to make two extra columns. One is for the numerator, P1 into Q1, which is actually the value of V1, and P0 into Q0, which is the value of V0. So in this case, you have to multiply P1 into Q1. So 40 into 18. Now 18 into 4 is 72, so I can take this as 720. 12 into 60 is also 12 into 6 is also 72, so this also becomes 720. 24 into 15, that over here is 360. 16 into 6 is 96, so I get 960, and 25 into 36 will give me 900. In the same manner, 30 into 22, 22 into 3 is 66, so I get 660. 16 into 4 is 64, 640. 38 into 10 is 380. 12 into 5 is 60, so this becomes 600. And 28 into 2 is 56, so this becomes 560. Now friends, the best part is that you just have to take the total of the last two columns that we have just now calculated, summation of V1 by adding the V1 column and summation of V0 by adding the V0 column. So 720, 720, 360 and all these numbers, if you add, you will get the total as 3660, whereas 660, 640 and so on, if you add all the entries of the last column, you get the value as 2840. So great guys, the formula that I have is V01 summation V1 upon summation V0 into 100, which is equal to 3660 divided by 2840 multiplied by 100, and on cancelling this and solving the remaining elements, we get the answer as 128.87. So interpretation over here also remains the same guys. The value of the commodity has increased by 28.87% over the base period. So guys, one more example there in front of you. In the second example, you are directly given the values of P0, Q0, which indicates that they are the prices of the base year and the quantity of the base year, whereas for P1 and Q1, it is indicating the prices and the quantity of the current year. So guys, in this case, again, like we did in the previous case, first we will make two additional columns, V1, which is equal to P1 into Q1 for the numerator, and V0, which is equal to P0 into Q0 for the denominator. So 70 into 14, that will give you 980. 90 into 22, that will give you 1980. 105 into 14, that will give you 1470. The next number 14 into 15, that will give you 2100, and the last number that will give you 4340. So if you add all these numbers, you will get the total as 10,780 is the required value of numerator, which is summation V1. In the same way, if you add all the values of P0 and Q0, multiplying them first, 50 into 22, that will give you 1100. 70 into 16, that will give you 1120. 60 into 18, that will give you 1080. 12 into 120 gives you 1440, whereas the last entry is 2200. So if you take the total of all this, you get summation of V0, which is for the denominator 6940. So friends, over here V01 value is equal to summation of V1 divided by summation of V0 into 100. Summation of V1 is 10,780. In fact 10,870, I'm sorry, divided by 6,940 multiplied by 100. On cancelling the zeros and simplifying the further fraction, you get the answer as V01 is equal to 156.62. So that's all for all the different kinds of simple index number, guys. We will take a few more examples when you are solving our exercises of the textbook. In the next class, we will be studying about the weighted index number.